Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. You know, students often ask me, Mr. Jimenez, how do I use Schoology? What am I supposed to be doing? Where do I see my assignments? How do I know what I'm supposed to be doing at any given time? Well, you're in luck. I actually was just about to talk and screen share about how you should be using that. So if you're a student, you're a parent, this is how you would use my English class Schoology page. So let's do this. I'm going to screen share so we can see it. Looks like this. And for the purposes of just demonstrating here, this is my English 9 page, but for the sake of consistency, I structure all of my classes that I teach this same way. So the content will be different, but the look and structure will be the same. So if you learn how to do this in whatever grade you currently are and you have me for another year or a couple years, this is the system that I use. So this applies to all grade levels, all classes of mine, not just English 9. Here's how it works. When you click on my English 9 page, or any of my English pages, this is what you'll get. A series of kind of folders here, each labeled by quarter. Okay. The first folder that's here is just a general welcome folder. There's nothing really in there that you need on a daily basis. It'll be things like the syllabus and other random resources. You really won't need to be accessing that. What you will need are these quarter by quarter folders. So 4 quarters in a year, each of these are kind of segmented out through the quarters. You can see quarter 1, the Odyssey is the first thing we do freshman year. Quarter 3, Trickster Tales. Quarter 4, so on, and so forth. You might see some assignments and things like that below it. These are not really things that you'll need to access, but they are there if you want them. So if you need to turn things in digitally, you can find them below. That being said, we'll talk about how I take work and collect work from students. But let's say you're a student and you're trying to figure out what your homework is for the day and maybe what it was from the previous day. What do you do? Right. So here's what this will look like. We're currently past quarter 1 when I'm filming this, but let's say it is quarter 1, right? So we're going to click on that one, and this will actually give you the agenda for every week in that quarter, up into wherever we are. So because we're past this, every week is already done and posted, but generally I post things on a week-to-week basis, right? So let's say it is August 17th, and I, as a freshman in Mr. Jimenez's English class, I'm wondering what was the homework from today and what did we do yesterday? You can go ahead and click on that link for that week. And all the weeks and all my classes look this way. I keep a very similar format. So I also project this in class, either on the projector on the Promethean board, so that students can see it and it looks familiar. But if you're at home, this is where you'll go. Parents, the same thing. This is where you can see what we did for the day in each of the classes. So let's say it's August 17th. We can zoom in. Here's Tuesday, August 17th. You can see above it is Monday, below it is Wednesday, and after that is Thursday. Let's say it's Tuesday. What do we do in class? Well, this is the agenda for the day, the broad strokes of what we did. So I will always link the resources and assignments from that day. So you can see we didn't do a bell work on that Tuesday. We didn't have one. But we did read Book 5 of the Odyssey. We also had the Book 5 study questions that go along with Book 5 of the Odyssey, right? So one thing to know about me is if you're a parent in particular, I don't give out dedicated homework. It's not something I give to students with the intention of them doing it at home. Typically how it works is we do some stuff in class and things that spill over become homework, right? So there will almost always be time for students to work on this in my class. And occasionally there will be things, usually over the weekends, where it's like finish this at home or do this over the weekend. There's usually a lot of time for students to get these things done in class. So here's what you should know about these listings. You can see some of the text is orange, those are links. Anything that's orange you can click on and it'll take you to that resource. So for instance, if you need to finish up reading Book 5 of the Odyssey, or there's part of it you don't remember, you can click on it, and you can see it will take you to the digital version of the text, right? And here it is, students can read it. We actually use this in class, so if you're a freshman, this will probably look familiar. The next thing I have here that's orange and linked is the Book 5 study questions. So I almost always give out hard copies of the assignments, the homework, the worksheets, all that stuff. I usually always give hard copies of it to students. So 9 times out of 10, they'll get a hard copy of it and have that to take home and work on and continue it that way. Let's say though it's Tuesday afternoon and I forgot my worksheet at school. What do I do? So you could, if you wanted to, wait till the next day, ask Mr. Jimenez, hey, I lost my worksheet, can I have a new one? And I'll give you a new one. Or if you would like, this makes it a little more convenient. If you click on the link for it, you can see it's the worksheet. This is what I use from my Google Docs. I just print these out and give them hard copies to the students. You can print these out if you have access to a printer at home and want to do that. If you don't worry. You can just answer these on a blank sheet of paper. Like, I don't need them to be on this specific worksheet. I rarely need that, and if you can, whatever grade level you are, whatever assignment it is, if you can do it on a blank sheet of paper, that's fair game, okay? The next thing to know is that if we zoom out a little bit, so we can see the whole week at a glance, if you're like, what do we do on Monday? We can see that up here. Right? Oh, we didn't have any bell work. We read book 2 of the Odyssey. We did some of this in class, and oh yeah, we wrote summaries for each of the 2 books that were there, right? You can go back and look at what we did in previous days, and if you go back, you can even look at all the previous weeks from the quarter and see those as well if you need to go back. You can also glance ahead for the week. You can see what we're doing on Wednesday and Thursday. You can see the assignments, the readings, all those things. And kind of get a glimpse ahead of what's going on. The next thing to notice, specifically for parents too, but also students, you might already know this, are these green check marks that you see. You see one here, you see one on the chapter questions. These are the assignments. So yes, you should read book 5 of the Odyssey. Yes, you need to do that. But in terms of what I'm collecting from you, those are the green check marks, okay? So if you're a parent and you ask a student, what stuff do you have due this week? The parent can go through and actually count all the green check marks and go, oh, did you do the summaries? Did you do the book 5 questions? Did you do the book 7 questions, or six questions here? All those green check marks are the things that need to get handed in, and we'll have a grade book entry, right? So that's what those mean. The other thing to know about this is that I collect work on a weekly basis on Thursday at the beginning of class. Okay, so when students walk in on Thursday, they're expected to take all the work that we did that week, staple it together, and give it to me. And then we move on with the day and do whatever we're doing for Thursday, right? So that means if I give you an assignment on Monday, it's due Thursday. If I give you an assignment on Wednesday, it's due Thursday. That's the next day, right? That means you have some flexibility. So if you need more time, if you don't quite finish something on Monday, you have some more time throughout the week to ask questions, come to study hall, get help, etc. Usually, I'll give you bigger assignments towards the beginning of the week and smaller ones towards the end of it, just to kind of account for the amount of time that you have. The other tricky thing to notice here is that if I give you something on a Thursday, it's due the next Thursday, so a full week after that. So Thursday assignments, because you have the weekend, and then the next week tend to be bigger ones. Not massive ones, just bigger than Wednesday ones, right? So if it's Wednesday, that's the day when students should be getting all their work from the week to get ready to give to me on Thursday morning. If you're a parent, Wednesdays are the days that you might ask them, all right, let's look at these green check marks. Do we have them all? Are they all good to go? Can you just give them to Mr. Jimenez when you walk in to class on Thursday? And that's going to be the way to find it. Okay. All of my classes work this way, top to bottom, English 9 to English 12, my ERWC class, they all work the same. So wherever you are in that spectrum of grade levels, this is how it works. I collect work on Thursday in all my classes, the green check marks are there, the orange hyperlinks are there as well, and it's all for you to access. Let's go back to the main page. A couple other things, just in wrap up. So I won't be able to show you it from my account because it's a teacher account, but on the left-hand side, if you were to click the grade book, this will give you obviously the students' grades. You can see the assignments, the grades, and any comments that I left for the students that are there. I would recommend checking that pretty frequently to keep up to date with grades, right? The messaging feature up top here on Schoology, all Schoology has this, not just me. Same thing for the gradebook, obviously. If you need to message me or any teacher, this is the way to do it. You can send us a message through that. The last thing I'll say here in wrap up is that students should be checking Schoology daily. Even if they finish the homework assignment, even if they know what's coming for the rest of the week, they still should get in the habit of, at some point throughout the day, checking Schoology. Here's what I would recommend. There's usually time for students to check Schoology during my class period. So they can get in the habit of seeing what's due and interacting with it there. But they still should be checking it at some point in the day. So if they're at home, an easy thing to have students do is to check Schoology, and it kind of clues you into what's going on too. And if then there are questions, definitely send them to me and I can work with you on them, okay? Like I said, this is how all my classes work. So if once you learn it, if you have me for multiple years, it's the same thing and it gets easier from there. But okay, other than that, I will stop talking here and let you guys go. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.